Hi, I'm Deborah, and I'm at the Cotton Patch Sewing Room. I wanted to show you the Bernina that I absolutely love. This is the Bernina 770 Pro. The entire series has been updated with four major things this year that are amazing. Number one, they've added more lights. They've also added Wi-Fi. Now, that's not to listen with your music. That's to access embroidery from the online embroidery system. Also, it has this incredible option of push button threading. We slide the thread over to this little clip up and around and push the button to thread. Now, the great part about that is that you don't have to rethread your machine very often because of the jumbo bobbin. You're not changing that bob. It's lasting longer than you can imagine while you're sewing. That's a joy in my book. You can't put it in wrong, which is another great thing. And it just pops into the end of underneath the machine. And once it's in, you can do two things. You can pop up the thread from beneath, but I usually don't. I like the fact that the stitches just will start without using all that extra thread. So I lower the foot, which you can do in a variety of ways, through here, through the system, through the kick check, or through the knee lift. But what's great is that you can adjust the stitches in a variety of ways. The easiest way is right up here, where I can elongate the stitch easily, adjust it easily, or if I want to set a default, change the default, I can actually go to this decimal thing and I can use my finger to set it this way. Or if I want just exactly 3 millimeters, I can set it that way and change it any way I want, which is so nice. To zigzag, same idea. It comes with the default size, and then, oh, I want it a little bigger, I want it longer, so I'm going to stretch it out easily to change the length of my stitch. Nice and easy to pivot with my finger. I love it. Then we have fancy stitches. Isn't it fun? Just to do a nice little journal with so many different ideas that Bernina has given you to take your sewing to a fun place. Notice the little dot, and that's following and shows you exactly where the pattern is going to end. And you can also use the pattern end button here so that you can repeat it over and over again. If you want 1 or 2 repeats, it'll do 1 or 2 repeats and then stop, which is kind of nice when you come to the end. Oh, there we go. How fun is that? Again, you can adjust it on the right, wider, longer, very easily. Some of the other icons on this screen are wonderful because not only do you push the icon, but you can adjust it and you see what that stitch is going to look like before you actually stitch. This is a memory. So let's say I've adjusted this exactly where I want it. I'm finished sewing for the day. I'm going to save it into my folder, my memory. Pick a folder, save it, and you can turn your machine off and it'll go right back to where you used that stitch before, so you can pick it up easily. It has a variety of icons. One of them is remembering the stitches that you used. It shows up to 9 stitches that you used, so you can recall it easily. Go to that easily. Just start sewing and it'll remember what that stitch was, the size that you had exactly, so that you can easily repeat the stitch without having to memorize or write down the stitches that you did. It's a great tool. This icon is the quilting. So this is a quilter's edition machine, so it has specially hand quilting or stitches that look like hand quilting, but you can also do stitches that you remember from blanket stitches, and you can elongate it easily. even more. You'll do a pattern stitch or wider. So when you find the stitch that you just love, you can send it to your memory easily. I'll start a new folder, check it, and you're good to go back to your fancy stitches or back to straight stitching when you make that adjustment. So that's one of the things that I absolutely love. It has needle up and needle down, so you can pivot easily. You can change the default of anything on this machine easily. Speed control back and forth. You can knot the machine, knot the thread, or NOT, KNOT as well. I prefer to use my quilting icon with this micro stitch. So it's five little stitches first, and then it goes to the regular stitch. So when I come back to the end, this little flashing key says push your reverse and it will go forward 5 little stitches, and then you can cut easily and you don't have long threads to worry about, to cut, to hide, to do anything with when you're quilting. So that's really a nice little, that's the stitch I probably use the most when I'm actually machine quilting with my machine. The alphabets are fun because each alphabet has a variety, upper, lowercase, numbers, symbols. You can easily find it. Then again, you're going to use that memory so you can save it. What I really like about the variety of buttonholes that you can do is that they also include sewing on a button. It's a foot Bernina makes. You can sew the button on according to that button size, and you can adjust it as you need it. It also does eyelets. I made a really cute project bag that I wanted my granddaughter to put in her notebook. So I just did 3 little eyelets and hole punched it. She loves it. Tension can be a dirty word in machine language because you can't understand the use of it. Tension means the thread and the weight of the fabric. So Bernina has a default on the machine, and then depending on whether you want less tension or weight on the needle or more tension. So if I was going to do silks, I would keep it down low, and I would also change my needle. If I was going to do denim, I might go a little bit higher, and I would also change my needle. The other thing that I love about Bernina machines is that if you're going to do denim, they want you to use that denim foot, and they've made it specifically as a stronger foot. And when you use that jeans foot, that needle is going to be sturdy and go through all those layers and the hems of denim, no matter what you're doing with it, whether you're repairing, shortening those pants, or making your own shirt. That's the key, is the denim needle and the denim foot on your Bernina machine, and it's going like through butter. Come down to the cotton patch and let me just show you how wonderful it is to sew with a Bernina machine.